Hello, American Federal Government, Fall 2023. Welcome to class. My name is Mr. Brennan. A quick introduction of myself. I've taught total of 27 years. This is my 27th year. 30 at Tulsa Edison, and since 2000 I've been at Poteau High School, that is. But also about that time I started teaching adjunct at Carl Albert. So I've been well over 20 years now teaching adjunct at Carl Albert. Originally it was all traditional, in person, and now it's almost all online, Blackboard. So things have changed a lot in those 20 plus years. I absolutely love teaching history and government. My master's degree is in political science, so this class is actually most directly related to what I was educated in. And let me go over two things I want to accomplish in this video. Welcome you to class and give you the nuts and bolts of the class. And two, tell you why you are taking this class. Number one, the nuts and bolts. I want to keep this class as simple as possible. That doesn't mean necessarily easy, but it means straightforward, not confusing. That's what I mean by that. So this class is set up very simply. You need to get the syllabus, and at the end of the syllabus is the schedule. You basically have a chapter a week. Week 1, chapter 1. Week 2, chapter 2. What do you have to do each week? 2 things that you have to turn in. The first thing you have to do is read the chapter, and that is important. So you will need the book. Here is the book. I've got the ISBN, I got the author, the title, it's there in the syllabus. Don't get the wrong book. If you want to make sure you get the right book, go to the bookstore. But the ISBN number is there if you end up ordering it from Amazon or somewhere else. It is a new textbook this year, which means a lot more work for me because I'm going to have to tape all new videos, but that's good too because government, there's real practical implications. Every time you have elections, you got to talk about new things. So it's good that I'm going to record a new video for each week. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So you're going to read the chapter, and that usually is going to take a couple hours. It takes some time. Make notes as you read. Because then I have an assignment for you to do. It's called the discussion post, but don't let that mislead you. It's a formal essay, but you are posting it so that you can look at other students' essays too. But you cannot look at their essays till you turn yours in because I had a problem with plagiarism. People copy from other people's essays. So you turn yours in and then you can compare and you can discuss others. I encourage that for sure. And take a look at how you did. The theme behind that is because we can't meet in person, and there's usually like a dozen things that I want to share with you and that I want to highlight about chapter 1, for example, and the purpose of government and things like that, but we can't do that. So I basically try to narrow it down to just one or a few things. What do I want students to take away from this? Did they get this most important concept? And you need to be able to explain that in a formal essay, unless otherwise said. Now, sometimes it might be otherwise said, but for the most part, it needs to be structured. I'm looking for grammar, spelling. You've got a computer. If there's a squiggly line, something's wrong with it. You need to correct it. If I get a paper and it's got a bunch of mistakes, right off the bat, you're not getting an A because there's no excuse for that. You've got a computer tell you when something's wrong with it, so just correct it, which means you have to proofread it. But I also am looking for content. I'm looking to see if it's well written, if it's well considered, if it's well thought out, if you really considered it. I'm looking to see if you looked at the textbook, if you read the textbook, if you learned, if you gained knowledge from the textbook, and if you can apply that knowledge to the prompt I've given you. So that's 1. 2, the weekly quiz. The weekly quiz has 25 questions. You have 1 hour. You won't be able to look them all up in an hour. That's another reason for reading the chapter so that you're really familiar. That way you have time to look some of them up that you're just unfamiliar with, but a lot of them you have a good idea what the correct answer is. And then you have a midterm and a final. So in the syllabus, it goes over the points. You got 1,000 total points, 25 times 15. I think that was 350. I can't remember exactly. Something like that. That's your essay grade. 25 times 15, that's another 350. That's your quiz grade. That's like 300. I'm a little off there, but it's close. And then midterms 125, finals 125, the total is 1,000. You get 900 to 1,000 points, you got an A, and so on. And that's it. Don't make it any more complicated. There is no inquisitive, no supplementary materials. That's enough. If you're doing that and you're doing well, you got 2 hours to read the chapter, an hour or two for the essay, an hour to take the reading quiz. That's at least 5-6 hours of your time. And I don't want to overwhelm you with more than that. That's enough. So keep it simple. It's not going to make it more complicated than it has to be, because if it gets complicated, I get bombarded with emails. Speaking of emails, that is the best and really the only way to get in contact with me. I respond usually well within 24 hours. I check my email continuously throughout the day. Saturdays and Sundays, not so much. Saturday's probably my worst day because I'm out having fun doing things. Sunday, I'm grading papers and doing a lot of work. Assignments are due on Sunday. You'll see that Sunday at midnight. If you want to wait till Sunday at 11, it's your choice. I see a lot of students do that. When I look, I can see what time you turned it in. But I wouldn't recommend that. Okay, I've got 3 minutes left. What can I tell you about 3 minutes? This class, American Federal Government, is the most important class at Carl Albert State College. Why? Because I'm supposed to teach you how our American federal government works so that you can become educated citizens and make educated decisions when you vote. Thomas Jefferson had founded the University of Virginia, the first public university, because he knew it was important that all citizens have an education in this experimental democracy that we were creating, this experimental republic that we were creating. And so he knew that people must be educated, and so public education was the foundation of this system. And yet we have so many people that are not educated on the government and how our government works. We're failing in that task, and we must succeed, because if we don't succeed, we lose our democracy. 230 years. Constitution was written in 1787. It's gone. And we've almost lost it. January 6th, 2021, we had an insurrection encouraged by a president. And I'm just going to tell the truth. I teach facts. Don't confuse teaching facts with partisanship, because it's important in my teaching not to be partisan in favor of one political party or another. But I will teach facts when facts need to be taught. And the fact of the matter is, the election was not stolen in 2020. Yet Donald Trump had convinced at least 1/3 of Americans that it was. And it led to an insurrection on January 6th. And that distrust that is sown in our government is undermining our government. And I don't know what the future holds, but it's frightening. I've never thought we'd be in a time where Americans simply didn't understand basic facts and then thus so distrusted our government that they felt it was time to do away with it. But that's where we're heading to if we don't educate. And we haven't done well enough. So this class, I really mean it. It's the most important class at Carl Albert State College if we want our democracy to survive. So welcome to class. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a fascinating look, because politics really is everything. We want to have a good system that continues. So looking forward to it. Email me if you have any questions, and let's get started.